Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Well, the White House is pushing for personal voter data from millions. What the DOJ is saying it's for and why some states are worried.
And it's a new month, which means new deals for shoppers out there, how you can buy the things that you want and still save some cash.
And Texas students might notice something hanging up in their classrooms, how a local school is displaying the 10 Commandments. Hi, welcome to GMSA at 9. We hope you had a wonderful weekend, and we want to ask you something.
Yes.
We want to ask if you are willing to try chicken nuggets and caviar.
Caviar. Okay, I'm willing to try pretty much just about anything, but before we get to everyone's answers here, this does come with a hefty price. Think of it as the fanciest chicken nugget that you will ever eat, and here's the reason why. Food stands at the U.S. Open in New York. Of course, that tennis event is going on, serving up some bold flavors along with world-class tennis. The Korean-inspired Spot Kokodak, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Obviously, I'd probably never try this. Is charging $100 for 6 nuggets with a side of caviar, Steph.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even if it was cheap, I don't think I would try it. So fans are loving it, but some are saying they need to make more money to buy the special menu item. And other offerings that are a hit at this year's tournament are also a new mahi mango tacos. Okay, that's okay.
Nice.
Ramen shrimp scampi and rye cookies.
Okay, so I think if given the opportunity, I'd probably try it out. I've never actually eaten caviar ever.
I don't think I have either.
I've done escargot. I've done that, and but I've never actually done caviar, so I'd be interested.
Same here.
They're eggs, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're like little tiny eggs.
But they're fancy. Yeah. Have you tried it, Justin?
The nuggets cooked to order, of course.
No, of course. No. No, it doesn't matter if it was the best food in the world. I'm not spending $100 on
Oh, well, there you go. What if it was free?
Yes, what if someone offered it to you?
What if David Elder came in here with it?
Yeah, I would try it.
You would try it?
Sure.
Okay.
That's the
I'll try
bite.
anything, but no. I don't know. Seems like a gimmick.
Yes,
Here we go.
more than likely.
Yes. Yeah.
Probably so.
You were correct, Justin.
Yes, U.S. Open serving up some pricey food there. All right, let's tell you what's going on out across the great state of Texas. We don't have much going on here locally, but you'll notice there are some storms out in the Gulf. Those are moving away, so we've got clear skies, and it's going to turn into a warm day. It's been nice this morning. We had temperatures in the 70s for the most part. Now we're starting to see things really warm up. We're turning that corner. 79 at the airport and New Braunfels. 72 in Bernie, 80 now at Stinson. And it feels like numbers are starting to jump up a little bit too, although heat index won't be so bad today because the air is going to be a little drier. High temperature will be up around 96. Can't completely rule out a stray shower, but I wouldn't bet on it. Headlines. Well, we'll watch for some heavy downpours this weekend. That's going to be one of the big headlines going forward. Otherwise, hot and dry this week, at least through Friday, and we'll have low humidity. But speaking of the weekend, we're going to take a closer look at that. It's what is going on in the Pacific that has caught our attention. More on that in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Well, San Antonio Police Chief William McManus tells us that 2 people found dead in the Northside Creek were victims of a fast-moving water from rain over the weekend. Investigators found those 2 bodies in Salado Creek near Maltzberger Lane and 281 North. That is near the airport. Both victims appeared to have been homeless. However, it is not known how far the floodwater carried their bodies before they drowned. The victims were young adults, 1 male and 1 female. The chief says at this time there is no suspicion of foul play. Friends of the victims let police know that they were missing hours before their bodies were found. The Bexar County Medical Examiner has identified the woman who died in a hit and run on the city's northwest side over the weekend. So it was 75-year-old Cynthia Anthony. She was hit by a vehicle in a parking lot on Babcock Road just after midnight on Sunday. So witnesses tell us that the car, a 2010 Nissan Murano, hit her and then left the scene, and the driver did not help. So Anthony was pronounced dead at the scene, and police have not made any arrests yet.
Well, this morning, a local cosplay influencer is facing charges for making a terroristic threat after police say that she threatened to bomb a booth at the San Japan Anime Convention. That was taking place at the Gonzalez Convention Center. SAPD says that 25-year-old Kendra Noel Manning commented on someone else's Instagram story saying that she was planning a bomb under a convention booth. Another user saw the comment and reported it to San Japan's management, who then called San Antonio police. Now, Manning was denied entry into the event and, according to an arrest affidavit, admitted to making that threat. Also this morning, Bexar County deputies arrested 3 men in connection to an illegal bar operation on that part of town. This all happened on Binzigelman Road near North Foster Road and I-37 over the weekend. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says a deputy saw alcohol being sold and consumed inside the Leaf Hookah Lounge without a liquor license. The Sheriff's Office said the Hookah Lounge did not have a valid certificate of occupancy and had an unsafe number of people inside. Okay, so we got a lot of students obviously going back to class today as we get past the Labor Day weekend, but Texas public school students walking into classrooms today, and they're going to see something new. You see some of this behind me. They'll see posters listing the 10 Commandments.
So it is the law now in Texas, and our Stefania Jimenez visited South San ISD to see how the district is displaying the document.
It's here, here, and here. Throughout South San ISD, colorful posters showing the 10 Commandments are on display in classrooms.
To be in the spirit of the law, we did just go ahead and purchase them ourselves so that we could have them up.
It is the law. Last June, Governor Greg Abbott passed Senate Bill 10, which many of us know as the 10 Commandments law. It clearly states that each public school classroom in Texas must show a poster or framed copy of the 10 Commandments measuring at least 16 by 20 inches. The law took effect September 1st, but South San ISD Superintendent Dr. Saul Hinojosa got a head start over the summer.
They were up before the students came in.
There are 12 schools within the South San ISD. That comes out to about 500 classrooms. And the superintendent says each and every one of those classrooms has a poster that displays the 10 Commandments. Not everyone agrees with the law.
I don't feel like the classroom is the place for that.
But supporters argue that it promotes good behavior among students.
And I think there should be standard beliefs of everyone. And so I think there's a place for that.
Less than 2 weeks ago, a federal judge ruled in favor of families who sued 11 school districts, claiming the law violated the First Amendment. However, that injunction only applies to those 11 school districts, meaning that all of the other school districts not named in the lawsuit, like South San ISD, do have to follow the law. However, Dr. Hinojosa doesn't want the controversy to distract from the district's main purpose.
My focus right now is on educating students and building capacity with their teachers to make sure that our district performs where it should be and where it needs to be.
All school districts have to pay for their posters or get them from donors. We emailed State Attorney General Ken Paxton last week to see if districts that aren't in compliance will face penalties. We haven't heard back. Stefania Jimenez, KSAT 12 News.
Well, here's a look at today's 9 at 9. Authorities in Houston have charged 42-year-old Leon Gonzalo Jr. with murder after a ding-dong ditch shooting left an 11-year-old Houston boy dead on Saturday. Now, witnesses told officers there that the boy was ringing doorbells of homes and running away. The boy was shot and killed as he ran away from that suspect's home.
Some national news: the Trump administration considering declaring a national housing emergency this fall. That's according to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. He told the Washington Examiner that such a move would be part of Republicans' midterm strategy to focus on housing affordability.
The White House is pushing to get personal information on millions of voters, including partial Social Security numbers. DOJ is saying it's to make sure that states keep accurate voter rolls, but some state officials call it an overreach and refuse to share that data. Critics worry this could be used to claim voter fraud ahead of next year's midterms.
The tourism industry across America bracing for what may be a long slowdown in foreign travelers. The World Travel and Tourism Council says that it looks like the U.S. will be the only country out of 184 it studied where foreign visitor spending will drop this year.
Well, more than 7,000 Teslas are being recalled. Officials in Australia say there's a software issue with the 2025 Tesla Model Y. They are warning that the driver's side window can close with force and cause bodily injury. So Tesla has issued a software update to fix that problem.
All right, Kraft Heinz is splitting into 2 companies sometime next year. One company will focus on sauces, spreads, and shelf-stable meals, while the other company will focus on grocery items for food away from home, such as Oscar Mayer, Kraft Singles, and Lunchables.
Well, HBO has announced some of the actors who will be cast in the upcoming Harry Potter TV series. Warwick Davis will reprise his role as Professor Filius Flitwick. Davis played Flitwick in the original Harry Potter film series, and the Harry Potter TV series will debut on HBO and HBO Max in 2027.
Okay, we got some Powerball news here. No one was holding the winning ticket last night. That means that jackpot has jumped to $1.3 billion, enough to buy the Spurs Arena. This comes after no ticket matched the lucky numbers. The next chance to win big will take place tomorrow. Good luck to everyone playing the Powerball lottery.
Yeah, that's what we need, someone to win to
Yes.
get that arena. Well, Instagram is offering creators with more than 100,000 followers some new tools to manage their direct messages inbox. They include filters, custom shortcuts, and new inbox folders. So they are all meant to allow creators to connect with their audiences more efficiently. Well, happening right now, Kerr County Commissioners are holding a public hearing for the upcoming fiscal year budget. They hope to move forward with a proposed tax rate of 40.24 cents per $100, which is also the no new revenue tax rate.
That's right. This was approved at last commissioners meeting by all except Judge Rob Kelly. And we, of course, are live streaming this, and we'll have more for you on this story later on today.
Well, people who have been affected by July's Hill Country floods only have 2 days left to apply for help from FEMA. FEMA officials say that flood victims in 10 Texas counties are eligible for disaster assistance.
Okay, so they're telling people to file insurance claims on their primary homes, personal property, and vehicles before going to FEMA. Those people could also qualify for unemployment benefits if they lost income or their jobs because of the Hill Country flooding. So again, the deadline is this Thursday, September 4th, and we have a link to this application on our website, KSAT.com.
All right, the time is 9:09 and we're at 79 degrees, not too bad.
Not too bad, a little bit of a cooler start on this Tuesday morning. Let's give you a quick look at our TransGuide traffic cameras across the beautiful city of San Antonio, 37th Alamodome, getting ready for that UTSA Texas State game. Ted and Callahan West traffic is moving along there for our folks on the near northwest side. And when we're shot here at Highway 151 and 410, no major incidents to let you know about this morning.
And Labor Day marks the unofficial end of summer, and for many it's time for some cozy clothing and maybe some pumpkin spice lattes. But what about the fall views? So after the break, we're going to catch the best ones.
Okay, and you might need some PSLs to enjoy the events this month. We're going to tell you where family and yourselves can enjoy some quality time around the city.
Well, welcome back. We're at 9:14 now. September is here, and San Antonio has plenty of events to welcome fall and to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. So from September 3rd to the 7th, the World Heritage Festival honors our city with events at all the missions. So if you're looking for some family fun, the San Antonio Zoo is also hosting its 40th annual Zoo Run, which happens on September 5th and 6th.
Yes, a lot of things to look forward to. Plus, we also got free movies at the Rock at La Cantera on September 5th and Junior Ranger Day at the Missions game. That is taking place on September 6th with activities for all ages. Locals can also get discounted zoo admission on the 6th. And again, for more information on all the events that are taking place throughout the month of September, head over to KSAT.com.
Well, looking ahead this month, what is a better than Whataburger? Well, what's better than Whataburger? That's hard.
Yeah, no, not much. Not much.
But how about a free double meat burger to celebrate the return of King of the Hill?
All right, Bobby, there we go. All right, from September 8th to the 12th, buy a medium fry and drink, and you'll get one on the house.
Nice.
Very cool there. Thank you very much, Mr. Hank Hill, the King of the Hill. Whataburger says this partnership is all about Texas pride, good food, and a little laugh along the way.
Very nice. I can see the drive-through lines are going to be very
sure,
long,
yeah.
for sure, yes. Well, San Antonio is taking some big steps to fight that extreme heat in the South San neighborhood. So last month, the city's Office of Sustainability, together with community groups Fuerza Unida and Adaption International, scored a $96,000 grant from the Climate Smart Communities Initiative. So the San Antonio partnership was the only project in Texas to receive that funding.
All right, pretty cool there. The money will help them continue work to protect elderly and low-income residents from dangerous heat, build leadership, and boost community engagement. The project also includes cooling committees, youth green job training, and planting more trees to shade those neighborhoods. South San faces higher temperatures because a few trees and a lot of asphalt in those neighborhoods, making it much hotter than other parts of the city.
All right, well, Labor Day yesterday.
Yes.
It meant the unofficial end of summer. And for some people, though, it's time to break out the sweaters. Not here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Maybe the pumpkin spice lattes, maybe iced one. And it also means looking forward to some fall foliage.
All right, yeah, 73 degrees this morning. I thought people were going to be like in long sleeves or something.
Scarf.
Well, in today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan looks at how this summer's extreme heat and heavy rains could impact the autumn colors and where the best places are in the U.S. to view them.
The end of summer means the vibrant green leaves will soon transition to the warm hues of orange, yellow, and red, turning mountain ranges into mosaics of fall colors.
It's a really great opportunity to just get yourself outdoors, look at something beautiful.
Brett Keller is the CEO of Priceline. The travel site recently came out with a list of the best places for leaf peeping this year, and clocking in at number 1 was the Hudson Valley region in New York.
We typically look at accommodation trends, and we also are able to understand how far away those consumers are from those accommodations.
These radiant colors generate a lot of green for local economies. In Vermont alone, the state estimates the fall foliage brings in around $1 billion in visitor spending.
It is a major driver of our tourism industry.
William Keaton is a professor at the University of Vermont. He says there are a variety of factors as to why some areas experience more vibrant colors than other regions. One being the vast contrast between temperatures during the day and at night, the variety of tree species, and the landscape.
Fall foliage is a delicate dance between a number of things, and climate is one of the most important.
This summer brought intense heat and excessive rainfall to parts of the country. Keaton says those extreme weather patterns impact how vibrant the colors will be and when the leaves will begin to change.
These kinds of extremes create stresses in trees. They begin to brown up and drop their leaves sooner than they otherwise would.
Keaton says climate change could also cause the fall foliage season to shorten over time. If you do want to carve out time to see the fall colors, they typically peak in the beginning of October in the Northeast. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
That is pretty cool. Yes, I've heard great things about the Vermont fall colors, also anything pretty much along the Northeast.
Yeah, very, very, very pretty. Not here, not right now.
Do we have fall foliage?
Yeah, we'll get it in December.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
later. We have to wait a little bit.
You have to be patient here. If it happens at all,
Winter
it will
foliage.
be much later. Yes. Okay, tropical depression number 12. It has developed out in the Pacific, and it's starting to show some signs of intensification here. We've got some good thunderstorm activity right over the center. That's always a good sign. It's moving pretty quickly right now, but this is a system that is piquing our interest. Why, you ask? Well, this time of year, if these systems can work far enough north, sometimes that moisture gets pulled into Texas, and we think that could be what happens with this particular system. Latest update, winds are at 35 miles per hour, but as I said, this is likely intensifying a little bit. Could become a tropical storm within the next day or so. It's moving west-northwest at about 15. And as I said, this moisture, which, by the way, it's if it gets a name, which we think that it will be Lorena, so I'm just going to call it Lorena. This will work north towards Cabo. And then with a system working across the country, this gets pulled up into Texas. And this is always a scenario, we've seen it in years past, that can produce some heavy rain for us. Now, there's a lot of things at play here, a lot of moving parts, and a couple things that we have to watch. Initially, the path, because this can change, where exactly she moves, and once she gets a little more established, we'll have a better idea of that. But know that the timing may change. The models have flip-flopped on this a little bit, but we do know that heavy rain is possible at some point during the weekend because this moisture will just be so thick in the atmosphere, and usually that can produce some pretty efficient rain producers. And that brings me to my next point in that May is always a good month for us, May into early June. That's our wettest time of the year, but we have a second rainy season, and that is in the fall, September and October namely, because we do see cold fronts and that produces some rain. But I would also argue that it's also because we typically start to get moisture coming in from these Pacific systems, and they can do wonders for our rainfall. So that'll be something to watch. Certainly no rain now. We've got clear skies and temperatures right near 80, San Antonio, New Braunfels, and Bernie. Feels like numbers in the low 80s. I don't think the heat index will be all that bad today because the air is just a little bit drier. So high temperatures right around 96. It may feel a degree warmer, but I really think that with the humidity the way it is, heat index is not going to be a problem today, tomorrow, or Thursday for that matter. It gets awful hot though. 100, so Thursday night football games and Friday night football games for that matter will be pretty toasty, but we think that those temperatures do come down as we get into the weekend. Again, stay with us on that forecast. It could change a little bit. Saturday and Sunday's rain chances and those temperatures as well, depending on how this all unfolds. And as soon as we get more details and get a better idea of what may go on, we'll pass that along to you.
At least we get another break there.
I think that we will,
nice.
and I feel pretty confident that at some point we're going to see some heavy rain. It's just a matter of when and where.
Okay, we'll take these little chances as they come along.
Yes.
Thank you, Justin.
All right, guys. Well, a new month is among us, and that means that new deals are set for the fall season. After the break, a few things that you can do to shop and save money at the same time.
If shopping wasn't on your schedule this Labor Day, no need to worry. CR says deals on some of the priciest purchases for your home don't always end when the weekend does.
A lot of these sales do stick around, especially on big ticket items like large appliances and mattresses, so you can still save even if you didn't shop over the holiday weekend.
Right now, you can snag a Queen Casper Dream for $600 less on the company's website. CR's tests show it's comfy, durable, and a standout for petite back sleepers. Another smart pick, this LG washing machine. Even at full price, it's a deal, but at Lowe's, you can save hundreds. CR says the front loader offers exceptional washing performance, along with water and energy efficiency. Suffering from the summertime blues, CR says a new season can equal savings.
As retailers are shifting into fall mode, you've got a really good opportunity to save on items that are going to carry you into the new season.
Like a battery-powered Ego leaf blower on sale at Lowe's and Amazon. Perched at the top of CR's ratings, members love that it's reliable, powerful, and easy to handle. If your favorite season is football season, this top-rated Coleman portable grill is tailor-made for tailgating or camping, and it's marked down at Amazon and Macy's. Legs with built-in wheels make it easy to take along. Ernie Zuniga, KSAT 12 News.
That's like a little rollaway luggage or something.
I was like, well, that's handy. I didn't know that was out there, but okay.
Okay, caught my attention, Ernie.
Yeah,
okay.
me too.
Time now is 9:27, and we're looking at 79 degrees outside, and there's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9.
That's right. It is Pain Awareness Month, and experts are sharing what you can do for pain management. And that includes first finding out where exactly the pain is coming from. We're going to explain coming up.
And a quick check of live cam on this Tuesday morning. Got a lot more folks heading back to work today as we take a look. Clear skies out there, but we're going to check in with Justin for the very latest on your full week forecast.
Well, welcome back. It is 9:31, and a dispute with your neighbor or landlord or dealing with divorce doesn't always mean that you need to call up a lawyer.
All right, very interesting option here for people in town. Mediation is another option, and a Bexar County Center has provided those services for free for over 40 years.
And our Courtney Friedman explains how this is helping families, businesses, and the court system.
Have you heard of the Dispute Resolution Center?
No. And community member Cynthia Rubio isn't the only one. She was pleasantly surprised to find out the Bexar County Dispute Resolution Center has been offering free mediation for over 40 years.
If I had to describe mediation in one word, that word would be negotiation. And I'll contrast that when you go to court. There is no negotiation.
Why is it important that people can reach an agreement before they move on to the court system?
There's no charge for the service. You have absolutely nothing to lose.
Center Director Al Cortez is one of 9 paid employees, but there are up to 90 volunteer mediators that help about 6,000 clients a year.
The mediation used to happen all in person, but right now it's pretty much all virtual.
We get a lot of cases referred to us by the courts. There's a local rule that if you request a jury trial, you have to come to mediation.
Those are called the litigation disputes, and 90% of them are family disputes like divorce and child custody or visitation. The other type is called a community dispute, the most common being neighbor or landlord-tenant issues, as well as consumer disputes. And if they can't help, they refer clients to another agency. Something Rubio plans to keep in mind.
A lot of people can't afford attorneys, or they don't want to make a bigger deal out of the issue, so I think it's a good deal.
And that was Courtney Friedman reporting there.
Yes, and there are some disputes that mediators can't cover, so if you want to find out whether this program can help you, you can head over to the Bexar County Dispute and Resolution Center's website.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that can help you out if you were in a sticky situation. And speaking of being a little sticky out there, Justin, how are things looking in the weather department?
That was a nice transition. I'll give you credit for that one.
Thank you.
But let's put a little more work in for that next one, all right? No, that was good. Okay, pollen count came in earlier. Molds are moderate at 610, so that number's dropping off a little bit. Fall elm shows up again, and we're starting to see more of this, so expect fall elm to be more of a staple here coming up in our pollen count as we get a little closer to fall. KSAT 12-hour forecast hour by hour here, 83 at 11 a.m., 86 at noontime, 95 at 3 o'clock, and 96 will be your high temperature. Mostly clear today, and we'll see just a very, very small chance for a shower or two. Rain chances basically non-existent today through Friday, but that all changes this weekend, and it changes pretty drastically because, as we've been saying, we get some moisture coming in from the Pacific, a tropical connection, if you will, and that will bring some better rain chances. Right now we have them centered on Sunday, but that is subject to change. We'll have another look at that forecast for you coming up in just a couple minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Well, it's been exactly 6 years since Anthony Clark was shot and killed outside Club Groove on the city's east side.
And his mother is not giving up in her search for justice for her son's death. San Antonio police say that someone opened fire with a high-powered rifle from a distance and killed Clark. You're taking a look at some photos of him right there. And to this day, no one's been arrested for that murder. Clark's mother, her name is Barbara Boyd, visits his grave several times a week, and she says that she still has not found any peace. She's pleading for the person responsible to come forward.
I have a person that murdered somebody, and that was my son. And if he's still out there on the loose, God forbid, I hope he don't hurt anybody else.
Well, Boyd is hoping that Crime Stoppers reward of up to $5,000 will encourage someone to just speak up. If you know something, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers, and that number is on your screen, 210-224-STOP. Well, a man is dead this morning after having a medical emergency at the Bexar County Jail. The Sheriff's Office says that Dimitri Sandoval Lira was found unresponsive in his cell. This was yesterday morning. And deputies and medical staff did try to save him, but he passed away just before 9 a.m. The medical examiner has not yet determined the exact cause of death. However, the Sheriff's Office says that Lira's pre-existing health issues may have played a role. This marks the 9th death at the Bexar County Jail this year and the 5th in just over 2 months.
And this morning, the Bexar County Medical Examiner identifying the man who was shot and killed by San Antonio police last week. That would be 41-year-old Jaime or Jamie Gonzalez, who died from multiple gunshot wounds, and his death was ruled a homicide. Police responded to shots fired on Cherry Street on the east side after 10:30 Friday morning. Chief William McManus said that Gonzalez had an argument with two drivers before going home to get a shotgun. He fired shots in the air and then pointed the gun at officers, who then shot him in his backyard. The two drivers cooperated with this investigation, which is still ongoing. Since the start of the year, though, police have responded to that home 7 times, including 2 disturbance calls.
Well, today kicks off Pain Awareness Month, and more than 51 million Americans report living with chronic pain. And over the past couple of decades, experts say that increased prescriptions of opioid medications were seen as a quick fix.
But it's also led to widespread misuse. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither sits down with a neurosurgeon who explains why the pain you may be feeling is coming from your brain and how knowing that may help you find relief.
When your back constantly hurts, you may think you know where the pain is originating, but you may also be wrong.
All pain occurs in the brain. If your brain doesn't decide you have pain, then you don't have pain.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says he by no means is diminishing pain, but he says humans can do almost anything within reason to the body and not have pain if their brain decides it's not there. On the other hand, he says the brain can also create pain where it shouldn't exist.
People who don't have limbs anymore, phantom limb pain, for example, how does that happen? How is the brain creating pain in a part of the body that doesn't even exist? There's a lesson in there, and that is that all pain is in the brain, which is an opportunity, I think, to try and control it.
Gupta says the first step to managing chronic pain through your brain is to realize it often comes with baggage. It may be depression, anxiety, poor sleep, or loneliness.
Pain is a truly mysterious biopsychosocial phenomenon. We don't know how to measure it, we don't know how to categorize it, but we know that it comes with all these things sort of intermingled.
To unlock the brain's power of pain relief, Gupta says lifestyle changes may be in order, including an anti-inflammatory diet, using movement as medicine, meditation, and prioritizing adequate quality sleep.
I think it's hard for people to sort of wrap their heads around that sometimes because it makes sense. Oh, my shoulder's bothering me, it's waking me up. But could it be that your poor sleep in the first place is causing your pain to get worse? That's where the science is really heading.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, new research published in the European Heart Journal suggests that beta blockers may not benefit the vast majority of patients and may even raise the risk of death for some women. So beta blockers have been used for decades as a first-line treatment after a heart attack. One analysis focused only on women, and it found those with little heart damage after their heart attack were significantly more likely to have another heart attack if they were treated with beta blockers.
And concerns are being raised this morning about prescription drugs as President Trump talks about tariffs as high as 200% on pharmaceuticals made overseas. Experts now say that those tariffs could force drug prices higher, despite the president's promises to lower all of those drug costs.
The time now is 9:39 and we're about 79 degrees right now. You are watching GMSA at 9.
Coming up, cleanup in the Hill Country is far from finished as those volunteers continue to pick up the debris left behind, but they stumbled upon this right here, a very interesting dino discovery, something they did not expect. We're talking about a prehistoric discovery. We're going to explain after the break.
Let's take a look out there with TransGuide this morning, kind of looking at the TransGuide cameras. There's a shot there at Loop 1604. Things are moving there at Vendera. Looks very pretty out there with the sun out. A little hold up there at 1604 at Emerald Forest Drive. So just be aware if you're traveling in that area. Also, that camera there at 1604 at Redland, a little bit of a hold up, but for the most part, things are moving. Well, welcome back. It's 9:44, and as the cleanup from the Hill Country floods continues, volunteers in Travis County just found something old, very old, while they were clearing up that debris.
Yeah, check this out. You're looking at some little dino tracks there, and we're talking about old as in prehistoric. Our KSAT producer, Sonia Dejado, explains.
This is what came up as volunteers were clearing debris from a private property at Big Sandy Creek near Leander. Can you tell what it is? Here's another angle. They're dinosaur tracks.
We saw the tracks, and we also saw some places where new tracks have been exposed due to the floodwaters scouring the landscape.
That's UT Austin paleontologist Dr. Matthew Brown. He says the tracks are 115 million years old. And another paleontologist, Dr. Thomas Adams, thinks he knows who they belong to.
The most likely candidate, based off the size of those tracks and what we know about the dinosaurs that are here at the same time, they're attributed to something like Acrocanthosaurus.
That's a three-toed carnivorous dinosaur. And you can actually check out their fossils in person here at the Whitty Museum. Back to the tracks. They aren't what you'd call a new discovery. Dr. Adams says a UT student found them back in the 80s.
They probably were covered up, and the flooding actually has re-exposed them and given us another opportunity to go and check them out and document them.
So there could be more out there. In fact, since last month's flood, Dr. Brown says he's received dozens of reports of other dinosaur tracks throughout Central Texas. And the more we know, the more insight we have into the dinosaurs that roamed the region more than 100 million years ago. Sonia Dejado, KSAT 12 News.
Interesting.
Very interesting, yes. You never know what you're going to find. And as you mentioned earlier, Justin, during GMSA, obviously the flooding kind of washing away, and we're able to see some of these new discoveries.
Yeah, well, you know, we have dinosaur tracks even here in San Antonio, Government Canyon. They're always really cool to see. But you have to remember, we had like a beach here along Central Texas, and so the dinosaurs walked in it and then left footprints. And you get the idea.
What kind of dinosaur was that?
Right. And so, yeah, I guess the flood uncovered some up there around Austin. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it's neat to see the prints for sure.
Indeed. Okay, let's take a look at a cool shot here on our KSAT Connect. Marcelo sent this in, and this was the sunset last night. The way the clouds were set up, it was beautiful color-wise. And this was taken from the south side. Great sunset. I would agree with that. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you sending that in. And as we look at the headlines, this weekend we'll be watching for heavy downpours. There is a possibility for that as we get some good moisture in place. In the meantime, this week, sunny, hot, and dry. That'll be the theme next few days. And low afternoon humidity, which will make for nice mornings and evenings. Great, sunsets, but not so much during the day. It will be rather hot with temperatures climbing into the mid to even upper 90s. Right now, it is 79 degrees here in San Antonio, and most spots are starting to, wow, I just went past all my graphics. I always press the wrong button. We're going to go backwards, so you're going to see the graphics before I show them. But what I was trying to get back to are the temperatures. There we go. 79 degrees at the airport, 81 in Pleasanton, 81 in Uvalde, 80 in Carrizo Springs. Now let's get to the forecast. Noontime, 86, 92 at 2 o'clock, 96 will be your high temperature with mostly clear skies today. And the dew point trend, dew points, again, will be somewhat pleasant next few days. It's not until the weekend that they start to climb into that muggy territory once we get some of that good Pacific moisture coming in. I did want to take a look at the Atlantic because we've kind of been focusing on the Pacific with how that will affect our weekend. But there is a wave out here that has a 70% chance of development. It's moving west. It's one that we should watch. We have plenty of time to do so, but it looks like this could be the next developing system in the Atlantic. Now, let's go back to the Pacific, and there's Tropical Depression number 12. There's the west coast of Mexico. We're getting some good thunderstorm activity around this thing, and it does appear that this will continue to strengthen, likely into a tropical storm. This becomes Lorena, we believe. Now, the question will be the path and the timing here. And we were just discussing this. I was just discussing this with meteorologist Sarah Spivey. It looks as though this is a little slow from the Hurricane Center based on what we're seeing with the computer models. But either way, this moisture gets pulled into Texas, we think sometime during the time frame of Saturday to Monday, I should say. And so anytime in that window, because it's just too early to nail down timing yet, because the system is just starting to get off its feet, we could see some heavy rain and expect these rain chances to kind of fluctuate depending on what unfolds there in the Pacific. But one thing we do know is that historically and climatologically speaking, if we can get these systems, some of that good moisture to feed in here, our rain chances are usually good, but we also typically see some pretty heavy rain and there could be some flooding involved. So that'll be something to watch for the weekend. In the meantime, as I said, very hot, 98 Wednesday, Thursday 100. So those Thursday night football games and those Friday night football games are going to be rough. But hopefully it does cool down a little bit over the weekend if we can indeed get some clouds and rain and maybe early next week as well.
We hope so. But in the meantime, everybody headed out to the football games. Just, be tough, be strong. You can get through it.
We could do it.
Yes.
You're like a cheerleader.
I do.
Let's go.
I'm going to need Steph on that big microphone thing that they have, the speaker now that all the cheerleaders have. Be tough. Get through it.
Get through the humidity. We can do it. Yeah.
All right, let's check in with SA Live and see how things are looking with Jen on this Tuesday morning. Jen, what are y'all up to?
Happy Tuesday. Well, we're going right into our question of the day. It's a new month, so our question today, what are you looking forward to in September? I know NFL kicks off this week too.
Yes.
I'm excited about that. So what about you guys?
Well, that's a big thing. I just like that it's closer to Halloween and all things fall.
Of course.
Surprise. So that's for me.
I mean, gosh, mine's always centered around football, and I feel bad about that. But it's those Saturdays where you finally get like a cold front and you can open up the windows, you got football, you can grill out. I like that vibe.
Okay, the whole atmosphere and everything.
I do too.
For me, I'm going to keep it simple. It is football. Yes, that's the one. Cowboys open their season, of course, this Thursday, and then we have Texas State UTSA on Saturday at the Alamo.
Very excited about that game.
Yes. I know you're excited about that, RJ. Texas State.
Absolutely. Eat 'em up.
All right, well, looks like football is the big one, and of course, Stephanie, we know you love Halloween, so everybody there, scan the QR code, weigh in, and we want to see what you're excited about. I'll see you guys in a bit. You know what else we're excited about? Burgers. Okay, how about burgers from around the world? Fiona is live at the Hard Rock Cafe. Hey, Fiona.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, this is a tour that I can definitely sink my teeth into.
Oh yes, we've got the chef throwing the cheese onto those patties, and these are going to be some amazing burgers. We are here at the Hard Rock Cafe, and marketing manager Daisy Guerra joins me. This is a global burger kind of extravaganza, right?
Absolutely.
What can people look forward to?
You can look forward to loaded global cuisine burgers brought to you here in San Antonio by yours truly, Hard Rock. You don't want to miss it. It's for a limited time only.
Okay, and not only the burgers, and wait till you see these folks when we start to peel back the layers, okay, but there are going to be some great deals, right?
Absolutely. You won't want to miss them.
Okay, it involves that right there, okay, and even some tacos and even some wine for deals. We're going to tell you all about that as well. Back to you, Jen.
Wow, okay. I like that drink. That looks delicious. How about a new spot to try in San Antonio, Wildcraft General Store. Now they've got coffee, they've got tea, they got vintage items. I guess that's why it's called, right? The General Store. Gift ideas as well, and we are taking you inside. Now, if you'd like to take a road trip in September, how about going out to Texas wine country? Yep, you know, I went there and I got to try some delicious wine, but we're going to show you the process and how it's all made from KSAT. All right, and then Sisters in the Park, if you like antiques, we're taking you there too later, but a movie that we got to chat with the director, okay? This story is amazing and it's inspired by her brother. We're gonna share all that and more on SA Live.
Right over here, It's all in the life of a showgirl as Taylor Swift's upcoming album, The Life of a Showgirl, becomes the most pre-saved countdown page in Spotify's history, breaking the record from Swift's last album, The Tortured Poets Department. The Life of a Showgirl hits the airwaves on October 3rd.
To infinity and beyond!
The original Pixar classic Toy Story heads back to theaters this month for a special celebration of Woody the Cowboy and Buzz Lightyear as they celebrate 30 years of friendship. Tickets go on sale September 2nd for the limited release that begins on September 12th. Also this weekend, fans at Disney's Destination D23 convention were also given a sneak peek of the upcoming Toy Story 5, including the introduction of a new toy named Smarty Pants, voiced by comedian Conan O'Brien.
I'm an angel. See the wings?
And turning 61 today, actor Keanu Reeves. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News.
He looks great in Wings too.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Mr. John Wick. Ooh.
Oh yeah, well we're going to talk about that very scary thing there. So Love Island star Taylor Williams fell very hard to the ground after a rodeo accident that happened last Friday. So that video you just saw was captured and posted to social media, which then went viral. And Williams, thank goodness, is doing okay now. So the video showed the moments when he was thrown from his horse after colliding with another.
Yeah, very scary scene there. The horse landed on top of him, as you could see right there, and it took a while before he was able to get up and start walking. Again, thankfully, another attendee captured the moment that Williams walked out of the venue wearing an arm sling alongside his Love Island partner, Clark Caraway.
Glad he could walk.
Exactly, yes. Thankful that he was up and okay, and I've never seen an episode of Love Island, but I know it's very popular, yes.
Yes, and maybe bringing some new fans after this incident as well.
Maybe myself. Crowds and some eager competitors, hey, check this out, showed up at the Muscle Beach competition, those championships on Monday. This is a Labor Day tradition in Venice, California, along the West Coast there. And among those showing off their stuff, none other than rapper Lil Jon. Here we go.
Wow, so he brought his solid physique and a message of empowerment for anyone else thinking about getting fit. The Grammy-winning artist also performed as well. Well, that's a treat. And the competition brought people from around the world to compete in several different categories.
He looks good.
Yeah, he does.
And he was here at a concert recently, that tacos and tequila one, I think.
He did? Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah, quick check. He didn't take off his shirt as far as I know. But, quick check here. Jones-Maltsberger traffic looking pretty good there. 10 at Callahan West. Not too many issues across our roadways. Just keep in mind, we're going to get construction going back later tonight into tomorrow morning.
All right, guys, quick update here. Hurricane Center just upgraded that tropical depression to Tropical Storm Lorena. So this is what we'll be watching as we get into the weekend. Could bring some rain chances into the forecast.
All right. Well, we will keep our fingers crossed for that rain. And I guess we'll toss it to our friends there at SA Live.
Yes, it looks like they got some burgers on the grill. Jen is in wine.